I'll have the employer go first.
Okay. Good evening, Arbitrator Spalding. My name is Bruce Gerber, and after hearing all the testimonies and reviewing all the evidence brought before you today, I am positive you have enough information given to you to show that just cause is proven and that the appropriate action for discipline is termination. In our opening statement, we talk about the case Glazer 11, which demonstrates how the employee violated the anti-harassment provision of the contract, was suspended, and warned that if a violation of the policy occurred again, it would result in a discharge. Since it was Officer Sue's first offense last year, we felt that she was a good police officer, so we would allow her to come back after her suspension, but would be monitored closely by her partner, who happens to be the union steward. We are here today because of the most recent incident involving Officer Sue and her very aggressive behavior, as well as her use of intimidation, lust for power, and demeaning manner over smaller and weaker people, with the most recent victim, James, a 7-year-old boy. As we move forward with the interview process, we have uncovered Sue's true personality. She has demonstrated her power over others by bullying, harassing, and intimidating smaller and weaker people. This is a clear violation of 3 essential rules that are detailed in the handbook. We found Officer Sue in clear violation of Rules 3, 8, and 14. Also, during our interview process, we have found no mitigating circumstances that would affect her decision-making as she intimidated and harassed these smaller and weaker people. Here's a quick reminder of what the rules are. In Rule 3, it states that employees shall not touch or speak to anyone in an unreasonable, abusive, or harassing manner. Sue violated this rule while she arrested James and used words that he wouldn't be able to understand as she explained it to him. She also wore sunglasses on a cloudy day, which is a good sign for intimidation or having the attitude of being above the law. The rule states that employees shall not engage in behavior that is harmful to the reputation of the employer. As you have heard, Arbitrator Spalding, there was a crowd of people, neighbors, friends, and family, that watched the incident. This action caused psychological distress to the parents and the boy. Lastly, Rule 14 states that employees shall not use the authority of the employer, a governmental authority, in an abusive or demeaning manner. This rule was violated when Sue arrested James and in the interview told us that she was trying to teach him a lesson. She used big words like incorrigible juvenile. I mean, not many 7-year-olds or adults would understand what that word means. The arrest was very unreasonable because his parents were right there. Why arrest him and put him in the car? So after listening to the rules, it is very evident that all 3 rules were violated in this incident. As you take in all this information that has been presented to you, we are, as the employer, asked that the grievance be denied. We find that having Officer Sue on the police force will not only damage our reputation, but the integrity and the public trust of the police force, if she is to be retained. Thank you for your time, Arbitrator Spalding.
Spalding.
You need a closing statement? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Arbitrator Spalding. I hope you agree that we have proven that Officer Sue has not violated any of the rules that she is accused of in the letter of discharge. Officer Sue did not touch or speak to anyone in an abusive or harassing manner, engage in behavior that is harmful to the reputation of the employer, and she did not use the authority of her employer in an abusive or demeaning manner. She used her best judgment, the force that she deemed reasonable. She respected James' rights, and she did not believe her actions would result in discipline. As you can see, also, the employer, you have another example of excessive force for a nearly identical case, and he was not discharged. Officer Sue has an exceptional record with the police force for the past 10 years, except for the one incident. For this reason, it is clear that the employer did not use fair discipline during this most recent incident. In the arbitration award for Glazer number 3, there was an officer who was drunk and disorderly, discredited himself, the department, and the city, failed to report the use of force, and participated in conduct unbecoming of an officer. This type of behavior would have been an obvious violation of Employment Rules 3, 8, and 14 as previously stated. This officer originally received a 10-day suspension, which was reduced to 5 days after arbitration. This officer was also made whole of 5 days suspension and was never terminated. The union requests that the grievance be upheld, that Officer Sue be reinstated with the Grand Rapids Police Department, and that she be made whole. Thank you for your time, Arbitrator Spalding.
Okay, thank you.